The price of wool was falling in 1891. The men who owned the acres saw something must be done. We will break the shearers' union and show them masters still. And they'll take the terms we give them, or we'll find the men who will.
Australia's a big country, and freedom's humping Bluey. And freedom's on the Wallaby. Oh, can't you hear her cooey? She's just begun to boomerang. She'll knock the tyrant silly. She's going to light another fire and boil another billy. Now freedom doesn't have a swag. He lugs a bag of tools, a copy of the new award and well-thumbed union rules. He fights for bread and peace and life. He drives the buses silly. He sells the Tribune on the job, while the Peggy boils the billy.
This is gaze on the bare belly go. Sorry if he gets a won't he make the ring a go. Click go the shears, boys, click, click, click. Wide is his blow and his hand pulls quick. The ringer looks around and is bitten by a blow and curses the old snagger with the bare belly go. In the middle of the moor, in his cage was a chair. In the bottom of the moor, notes where he sleeps as it comes to the screen. Pay strict attention if it's taken must lean. Click go the shears, boys, click, click, click. Wide is his blow and his hand too quick. The ringer looks around and is beaten by a blow and curses the old snagger with the bare belly yo. The carboy is there and awaiting in demand, with his blackened tar pot in his tarry hand. Sees one who keeps with a cot upon his back. Here is what he's waiting for. It's not here, Jack.
The year 1954 is a notable one because it is the centenary of the Eureka Stockade. There a resounding blow was struck.
I imagine Henry Lawson might have sat here in the shade and listened to Lance Sharkey tell how history was made. He'd go up and shake him by the hand. The Army of the Rear has become Australia's vanguard, I'm mighty pleased to hear. 'Twas of such stuff that men were made who saw our nation born. And the words of Peter Lalor are as living now and warm as when the diggers fought and died with 5 white stars that dawn. From Diggers' Rights to 91. The workers' press was born by flickering light in shearing sheds. With pencil stubs, they wrote their fighting leaflets. No free labor in the sheds.
I know the squatters said that's made for times like these. To Troy, across Hampton, the voting men were rose. The judge had got his orders, the squatters on the court, but for everyone was sentenced, 1,000 won't forget, where they jail a man for striking. It's a rich man's country yet.
Shearers' papers like the Hummer. Brisbane Worker lit a spark. Each one a blow for freedom that seldom missed its mark. The little union papers challenged all the men of fat, and some were like the Bulletin, and not too old to rat. Henry Lawson, Mary Gilmore, Billy Lane, all the men without a name, they set the crackling tinder of the shearing sheds to flame.
During the First World War, the Australian labour movement wrote new brilliant pages in its history of struggle. Sickened by the long years of bloodshed, our people struck a blow at militarism in the unforgettable, victorious campaign.
In the night and early morning, with the whitewash and the chalk, he walks through empty cities making walls and pavements talk. Words can be stoned on, bashed and jailed and censored, and still the presses turn out like a song, leaflets and papers, bulletins and slogans. And the workers learn to guard their press with guns. The war was over, and the common man came marching up the streets of all the world. His rifle, he exchanged for a ticket on the dole. He would impose peace on the men who lived by war. A workers' party and a workers' press was born throughout the world in 17. Through the burning words of Lenin. They wrote it and they printed it. They sold it on the streets, they sold it in the bush and on the track. The men who humped their bluey through the hungry 30s knew there would never be another turning back. The grim 30s saw the spread of fascism. Throughout the world, the workers combated it. In Australia, they sold the Workers' Weekly in the streets. And there they met the new guard.
A fighting paper, and one whose circulation began to expand rapidly. For Tribune was in effect the voice of the large army of unemployed, as well as the voice of the whole progressive movement.
Thomas and Radcliffe were interned without a trial in 41 for printing the illegal Tribune. Outside, the workers struck to free them. And inside, they found that even in concentration camps, the workers of the world can unite and sing.
triumphera, banderas alla triumphera, e viva socialism and your libertà. Avanti popolo, avanti rossa, bandiera rossa, bandiera rossa. And the age of France, let away with all your superstition, let our masses arise, arise. We'll change and call the triumphera, banderas alla triumphera, and we comrades and rally, and the last fight let us take. The International unites the heroes alla triumphera, banderas alla triumphera, and the socialism and the libertà.
Freedom's got a special smell about it. Of trams and oxy torches in the rain. Of sunlight on the pavements. Voices shouting, "Buy the Tribune" in the streets again. Churchill made his Fulton speech and broke the peace. The hand clasps, the celebrations. The Cold War had begun.
Get your Tribune, the workers' paper.
Just as the workers' press was trampled underfoot, so too were the minds of men, women, and children.
Shooting Rocky, who must have been tipped off. My first bullet must have gone right through her. She cut from the pocket. I thought my left arm go limp.